You are being lied to every single day of your life, and the worst part is that you don't even know it because the lie sounds like a voice in your head telling you to be a good person. There is a parasite living inside you, a voice that has been feeding off your potential since you were a child. It tells you to be nice, to keep everyone happy, and to never cause trouble because you think that voice is protecting you, but it is not protecting you at all. That voice is actually making you into prey. You feel it deep down, don't you? You are tired of being walked over, tired of saying yes when every fiber of your being wants to scream no, and tired of watching other people take exactly what they want while you stand there waiting for permission that is never going to come. You have been trained like a dog to be obedient, and today we are going to rip that weakness out of you by looking at the world the way Machiavelli did 500 years ago. We have to start by understanding that society's conditioning is actually a hidden rule of control designed to keep you harmless. Think back to when you were in kindergarten and they sat you in a circle, telling you to share your toys and wait your turn. You thought they were teaching you to be moral, but they were really teaching you to be controlled. Every time you were told not to talk back, you were being trained to silence your own instincts, and every time you were told to be nice, you were being programmed to ignore your own needs. Now look at you as an adult, still following those rules while the people who actually win at life ignore them completely. You still wait your turn in conversations while louder people talk over you, and you think you are being civilized, but you are just being obedient. If you look at a boardroom meeting, the person who gets heard is never the politest one. It is the person who interrupts and takes the floor without asking. In a negotiation, the winner is not the fairest person, but the one who cares the least about being liked. The nice people lose every single time because nice is just a leash that you are still wearing, while the people you envy broke free from that conditioning years ago. The coworker who stole your idea or the guy who cut you off in traffic isn't better than you. They are just not handicapped by the programming that dictates your every move. The first step to actual freedom is simply seeing the cage, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. But to really break out, you have to accept a darker truth about human nature, which is that humans are naturally selfish and jealous, and your best friend is probably not rooting for you. I know that stings to hear, but watch their eyes the next time you announce a big win or a promotion. You will see a tiny flicker of hesitation before the smile comes, and that flicker is their real reaction. It is a mix of jealousy and resentment asking, why them and not me? This is evolutionary. We are wired to compete and compare because the ones who weren't selfish didn't survive. Once you accept that people put themselves first always, you stop being shocked when they betray you or let you down. You stop sharing your plans with people who secretly hope you fail, and you stop taking it personally because it's not about you, it's about their own insecurity. This leads us to a critical distinction you need to make between being useful and being respected. Nice people get used, while truth-tellers get respect. Think about someone you genuinely respect, not someone you like, but someone you respect, and ask yourself if they are nice. Probably not, because the people we respect are the ones who push back, who don't sugarcoat things, and who are willing to make us uncomfortable. Your nice friend who agrees with everything is useful because they make life easy, but useful people are treated like appliances. They are used until they break. At work, the nice person gets the extra assignments and the stolen credit, while the person who says, "That's not my job," gets promoted. That implies that boundaries command respect, and as Machiavelli suggested, what works changes with circumstances. Being nice worked when you were 5, but now you need to be honest. The world doesn't need more nice people. It needs honest ones who aren't afraid to tell a boss their idea won't work or tell a friend they are being selfish. When you soften your words with maybe and I think, you are just signaling weakness. You have to realize that your desire to please is actually killing your freedom. Your biggest prison isn't your job or your debt, it is your desperate need for approval. Every time you change what you say based on who is listening, you lose a piece of yourself and you trade your freedom for acceptance. But acceptance is a trap because eventually, you wake up and realize you are just a collection of reactions to other people's expectations, and that is not living, that is performing. Real freedom is saying what you think even when your voice shakes and choosing authenticity over approval, even if it means some people leave your life. The people who leave only loved the mask you were wearing anyway, so losing them is actually liberation. Now, if you want to understand how to project power in a room, you have to understand that dominance is actually just the willingness to endure discomfort. Pay attention to who controls a room. It isn't the loudest person, it's the person who is comfortable with silence. Most people are terrified of awkwardness, so they laugh at bad jokes and fill every silence with chatter to fix the vibe. That is weakness disguised as kindness. Strong people let the awkwardness exist. They don't rescue anyone from social discomfort, and people respect that certainty. When you refuse to smooth everything over, you become the gravitational center of the interaction, and people start adjusting to your energy instead of you constantly adjusting to theirs. This is what we call frame control. Most people walk into a room wondering how they can fit in, but the right question is how to make the room fit you. Your frame is your reality and your rules, and in every interaction, the stronger frame wins. If someone tries to guilt trip you for saying no, a weak frame apologizes, but a strong frame just repeats the no without explanation because your reality is that no is a complete sentence. If someone disrespects your time by being late, a strong frame doesn't say, no worries, it tells them it is disrespectful and leaves if it happens again. You must stop managing other people's emotions because their discomfort is their problem, not your responsibility. When you stop entering other people's realities and make them enter yours, you stop being just another voice and become the voice that matters. This brings us to the internal shift you must make. The strong never seek approval, they validate themselves. If you need approval, whoever gives it to you owns you. Think about a puppy waiting for a good boy from its master. That is you every time you fish for a compliment or ask if you did a good job. Now think about a wolf. It doesn't wait for validation, it just moves. Your value must come from inside you, because if you are constantly looking outside for confirmation, you are handing over the keys to your self-worth. Strong people state their value rather than asking what they are worth, and they don't sacrifice their comfort just to make you feel bigger. When you stop chasing validation, a strange thing happens. People start chasing you for it because self-respect is magnetic. You also need to understand a harsh reality about your relationships. People do not want justice, they want exploitation. When people complain about your new boundaries, they aren't upset about fairness. They are upset that they can't use you anymore. The friend who says you've changed when you stop lending money doesn't miss you, they miss the ATM. The family member who calls you selfish for not hosting every holiday doesn't miss your presence, they miss your service. People get comfortable with what they can take from you, and when you cut that off, they frame it as your moral failure. Don't fall for that guilt trip because being agreeable didn't make you good, it just made you useful. When someone complains about your boundaries, do not apologize, do not explain, and do not justify. Just hold the line because their frustration is the proof that you are finally doing it right. If you want to become truly valuable in the eyes of others, you must learn to withhold approval. Most people hand out compliments and validation like free samples, and because of that, their approval means absolutely nothing. Humans are wired to seek approval, but we only value what is scarce. Think about the boss who praises every tiny thing versus the boss who only praises exceptional work. You work twice as hard for the one who rarely gives it. To become powerful, you must make your validation rare and hard to earn. Don't be instantly available and do not validate mediocrity. If someone does the bare minimum, do not praise them. Expect excellence and accept nothing less. When you start rationing your approval, people will instinctively start trying harder to impress you. Finally, and this is the hardest lesson to accept, fear is the real language of respect. Love does not create respect, fear does. I am not talking about the fear of violence or harm, but the fear of disappointment, the fear of losing your respect, and the fear of not measuring up in your eyes. Think about the people you change your behavior around. You don't do it because you like them. You do it because you are afraid of disappointing them. Nice people have no influence because there is no consequence to ignoring them, but when people know you will cut them off without hesitation or call them out directly, they listen. Real leaders create discomfort and hold people accountable, willing to be the bad guy because they understand that respect isn't about being liked, it's about being taken seriously. Being taken seriously means people know there is a cost to crossing you, the cost of losing your respect. So stop trying to be everyone's friend and start setting high standards, willing to walk away from anyone who disrespects you. You have a choice to make right now. You can keep being the person people ignore, use, and forget, or you can kill the people pleaser inside you and become the person people instinctively respect. Society conditioned you to be controlled, but now you see the leash. You know now that approval seeking kills freedom and that the strong validate themselves. These lessons are not comfortable, and they are not what the self-help gurus will sell you, but they are the real tools of power. Decide today that you are done being harmless and start being the one who sets the frame. Go out there and become dangerous.